Good morning everyone. Welcome to our next part of chapter 2, class 7th English, A Gift of Chappals. I, Shweta Somra, am your English teacher and today I will discuss about the first part comprehension check of this chapter. Now, do you know what we read in this chapter? Yes, there was a girl named Mridu and she used to live with her grandparents in Chennai. One fine day, her grandmother took her to her aunt's home where she met her cousins, and two of her cousins took her to the backyard where she saw a beautiful kitten. Okay, and then when they were all talking about the kitten and where did it came from, what happened? She listened to a weird sound. Okay, the sound was very much weird, and then she came to know, Mridu came to know that this was a sound coming from a room where Lalli, her third cousin, was learning music from her music master, and she was playing the music very badly. That was a very unpleasant way to play the violin. Okay, so nobody liked that, not even the kitten, and the kitten just ran away here and there, and he just pushed some of the red chilies which were dried up in a bamboo tray on itself, and it was a bit frightened also. Okay, so we read in last parts till here. Now we will discuss the comprehension, the question answers related to that part. Okay, so come along, we'll start with the question number 1. What is the secret that Meena shares with Mridu in the backyard? Now you remember when Mridu came to Rukmani auntie's house, her cousins took her to the backyard, straight away to the backyard. उसको चप्पल उतारने का टाइम भी नहीं दिया था, remember? है ना, फटाफट से वो निकाल के और फिर तुरंत उनके साथ पीछे चली गई थी. तो ऐसा क्या था पीछे? क्या ऐसा कुछ वहाँ पीछे छुपा हुआ था? This is what the question is related to. Meena shares the secret of the kitten that they have found. They have found a small kitten that morning in front of their house. Where did they find it? They found it in front of their house and have kept in their backyard. And they kept the kitten in their backyard because their mother said, don't bring it inside the house, otherwise your grandmother will move to your पादू मामा's home. दादी माँ घर छोड़ के दूसरे अंकल के घर चली जाएंगी, इसलिए घर में नहीं लाओ, पीछे ही इसको छुपा के रखो. All right? So this was the first question. How does Ravi get milk for the kitten? Now it's a small animal. Okay, it needs to be feeded, right? उसको भी खाना चाहिए. Now how did Ravi feed that kitten and what all things he faced, we will discuss. Ravi brings milk from the kitchen saying that he was feeling hungry. Now he lied. उसने झूठ बोला. किचन में जाके उसने बोला मुझे भूख लगी है, but actually he wasn't. He was not hungry, but he needed milk for the kitten, right? So he went to the kitchen and he lied that he himself is hungry, so he need a glass of milk to have. He even drinks most of it to prove Pati that he was indeed hungry. Now who is Pati? Pati was Ravi's grandmother. ठीक है, पाती रवि की दादी माँ है और रवि को उनको प्रूव करने के लिए कि मुझे ही भूख लगी है, मोस्ट ऑफ द मिल्क वॉज फिनिश्ड इन द किचन ओनली. ज़्यादातर उसको ग्लास अपना किचन में ही फिनिश करना पड़ा था रवि को, उनको प्रूव करने के लिए, ताकि उनको शक ना हो कि ये दूध लेके जा कहाँ रहा है. He then brings the tumbler in the backyard and empties it in the coconut shell. Now what does Ravi do? He brought the remaining milk which was in the tumbler, in the glass, and he emptied that in a half coconut shell where the kitten was lying beside it and it could have that milk. ठीक है, रवि उसको लेके आया, हाफ कोकोनट शेल में डाल दिया और वो किचन ने पी लिया था. All right, so this is how they feeded the kitten, and they faced many problems. थोड़ा बहुत झूठ भी बोलना पड़ा, थोड़ा बहुत scared भी था. Yes or no? कि पकड़े गए तो क्या होगा, right? So this is how they feeded. Question number 3. Who does he say the kitten's ancestors are? Do you believe him? Now you remember what was Ravi doing? He was trying to convince Mridu that this cat is a royal cat. It's a descendant of a royal cat family, right? ऐसा ही उसने बोला था, ये उसको वो प्रूव करने की कोशिश कर रहा था मृदु को, because he wanted to tell her that he is having very special cat with him. Ravi said that the kitten's ancestors were the lion of the Pallava kings. Firstly he said उसके ancestors कौन थे? Lions of the Pallava kings. Okay, Pallava dynasty was in southern India और उसके जो lions थे, जो उसके emblems थे, वो इसके ancestors थे. The Mahabalipuram Rishi cat which has the emblem of the Pallava dynasty. Okay, और महाबलीपुरम में जो पल्लवा डायनेस्टी की ऋषि कैट थी वो इसकी एंसेस्टर है. किसकी? कैट की. No, I don't believe this. Now personally I don't believe this. Do you all believe what he said? I don't think so. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? There are so many cats now. How you can find out that this particular cat is belonging to some royal family, right? All the animals are beautiful. Just looking at their features, their fur, their mane, you can't decide that this is a royal cat or a whatever, right? So I don't believe personally what all Ravi said. Moving on to the next question. Ravi has a lot to say about MP Pune. This shows that, you remember I told you Pune in Tamil, Pune is a cat. एक cat को तमिल में पुणे बोलते हैं. All right. MP Pune, it was the name of the cat. Now Ravi has a lot to say about it. How? How could he say all these things, that this cat came from so and so place and belongs to so and so family and all these things? This shows that. Now what does all these things show? First one, he is merely trying to impress मृदु. वो मृदु को सिर्फ सिंपली इम्प्रेस करने के लिए ये सब बोल रहा है. सेकेंड, हिज नॉलेज ऑफ हिस्ट्री इज साउंड, या उसकी हिस्ट्री की नॉलेज अच्छी है, because he was talking about the Pallava kings and he knew that there was a Rishi cat. He also talked about Mahabalipuram state. Then he went to Egypt and he knew that a cat goddess Bastet was worshipped there, right? So his history was good, no doubt. He has a rich imagination. Yes, he had a good imagination as well. You agree with this? Because he was creating stories on that particular point of time about that cat. He is an intelligent child. Of course, you can just say he was an intelligent child because he just created a story particularly for that cat. Now, which of these statements do you agree or disagree? Tell me. First one, he is merely trying to impress Mridu. Why would he impress her cousin? I don't think so. His knowledge of history is sound? Yes. It seems his knowledge of history is sound because he was talking about many of the things of history. He has a rich imagination. Of course. His knowledge was good. Imagination, of course. Why? Because he could imagine his cat coming from so and so place. He was talking about the stowaway. You remember? कोई ancestor ship, Pallava ship में छुप के Egypt से India आया है, and this cat is a descendant from that particular cat goddess. Just think about his imaginative power. He is an intelligent child. Of course, he is. वो एक intelligent बच्चा है, ही है. Okay? So, let's see to its answer. Ravi has a lot to say about MP Pune. This is true. This shows that his knowledge of history is sound, because he could relate all the things from history. So we can say that it was very much sound. He has a rich imagination. Of course he had. And he is an intelligent child as well. Okay. So this is the answer to the question number 4. Let's move on to the last question. What was the noise that startled Mridu and frightened Mahendran? You remember when we discussed the last part, and at the end of that part we just discussed about a weird sound, okay, which made Mridu startled and the kitten jumped from its place and moved to the red chilies tray, right? That was a very much weird sound. Now they are saying that what was that noise which startled Mridu and frightened Mahendran? Mahendran was that kitten. It was the sound coming out of Lalli's violin that startled Mridu and frightened Mahendran. Now you remember Lalli was learning music from her music master, okay, and the music master was playing music very beautifully, but at the same time Lalli was not able to catch up his notes. She was not following his notes properly and she was playing the violin very weirdly, and it created a very absurd sound which frightened the kitten and also startled Mridu. Mridu was also very much surprised that from where the sound is coming, and the kitten was also very much frightened to hear that. Okay. So the noise came from the room where Lalli was learning violin from her music master. Everyone got this? Okay. So now we will end up here and we will start with our next part, that was Lalli able to learn the violin properly? How did the music master look like? How was he looking like? And how was he teaching Lalli? Was Lalli happy learning the music? Then what all happened next, we will discuss in our next part. Until then, read the chapter, do the question answers, plus learn the hard words also. Okay beta, take care, bye bye, have a good day.